Okay, we're at the top of the hour, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So let me see here, get my screens right. There we go. All right, so thank you, and thank you for joining Platform Analytics Academy today. I have another really great session in for you all. Go through some logistical information as usual, and then we'll get directly into our content. So we have some really great stuff to share. So as usual, this is always for you, especially today, fresh ideas, better understanding, practical guidance. Going to show you some new things as related to Zurich release. Super excited about that. It is being recorded as usual. It'll be out on YouTube later on today. Probably later on this week based on when I get the recording. So please feel free, sit back, relax, enjoy. The slide deck will also be added as a PDF to the community event. Q&A, please ask questions. Please feel free to ask questions. We just ask that you put them in the Q&A rather than the chat. General comments or hellos and all those things are fine in the chat, but please put the questions in the Q&A so we can have others answer those. We'll have quite a few panelists on today as well. So Safe Harbor, this is talking about Zurich, which will be released here soon, but we also need to make sure that we mention the Safe Harbor for anything that you do here today. My name is Thomas. As usual, I'm your host. Today we're going to have Serena and Mayan on. They're both going to present two different subjects for us today. And then we also have Dan on. Marta is here. Olga, I think, will probably be here. And then we have Lav here as well. So some really great people to support the content that we're covering today and, of course, answer the questions as they come in. So again, we're going to talk about what's new in Zurich. This particular call, we have another one in 2 weeks that's going to be about what's new in Zurich. But today we're going to talk about analytics management. And then in a couple of weeks, we'll actually talk about PA and user experience analytics. So let's discuss analytics management day. So Serena, I believe that you're going first, right?
Yes, correct. Thank you, Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
So I will share my screen. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, Thomas. And we're very excited today to show you what's new in Zurich, specifically for analytics management features and capabilities. I will be speaking first. I will explain a little bit what we did in Zurich, give a quick demo, and then Mayan will take over as well. So let's get started. So first of all, I want to highlight that these new amazing analytics management capabilities will be available from the library pages. Specifically, you will have usage data and management actions available for analytics managers users. And I will show later how do you access them and how to get there for different users. But we really, let's say, put all this power into our already existing library pages. I want to go through the three main pillars for analytics management. The first one is at the basis, and that would be available for every user that has access to these three library pages: dashboards, data visualizations, and indicators. First of all, we redesigned in Zurich these three library pages for everyone. We have a list view with comprehensive data on these three different artifacts and some enhanced filtering options for some of these pages. So at the basis of this work, there is this library pages redesign that I will show in the slides and also in the demo. Then when it comes to proper analytics management, we have two more pillars. The first one is enhanced view for analytics managers. This is available for Zurich, for dashboards and indicators library pages. So users with specific roles, that would be dashboard admin, platform analytics admin for dashboards, and PA power user and PA data collector for indicators will have an enhanced view of these library pages. This means that they will have additional information on the library and specifically views and generic usage informations to make informed decisions for the health of your analytics ecosystem. The third pillar, again, available for dashboards and indicators library pages, is to take action directly from the library. So these users, analytics managers, not only will have more insights on the usage of their artifacts, but also they will be able to perform management actions from these library pages. In particular, it would be delete, deactivate, and for indicators when available, also enabling data snapshots, which is something that Mayan will cover later. This, again, everything is available from the library pages. You don't need to leave your workflow, and you have insights and management actions available from there. Let me quickly go through what we mean when we talk about redesign and enhanced view. So now I will show some slides, and again, this will be showed also in the demo shortly, but I will show different screenshots of what a library could look for a user, a business user that has just access to dashboards and no admin capabilities, and what it could look like instead for an admin. So at the basis of the redesign of the library pages, we replaced what we had before with a presentational list. This will give you more information on the dashboards that you can access or the dashboards that you're looking for. When it comes to analytics management, as you can see here, this library has a few more information and components inside. What we're really excited about is the usage data that you can see here on top and also in the columns, and also the management actions that you can perform from here. The same is available also for the indicator library. So we have this redesign with this presentational list, more information, enriched metadata on your indicators, and also some improvements on the filtering capabilities. And again, an enhanced view for analytics managers when it comes to the indicators library. Now, I don't want to stay here too long, and I would quickly jump into the demo to show everything that I'm talking about. So let me quickly share my screen. I hope you can see my instance. It seems so.
Yep.
Perfect. So I want to start with the first main pillar that I mentioned, which is the library pages redesign. So now I'm going to impersonate a user that does not have any admin role in terms of dashboards or data visualization, and I want to show you how the library looks like for these users. So I will impersonate one of these users, and I will navigate to the libraries. Some of you may know already, but a quick reminder on how to navigate to the library pages for Platform Analytics. So all you need to do is to type in the All menu, Platform Analytics. You will see a library section here. So from this section, you will have different library pages for different artifacts, and the redesign consists of the dashboards library page, the data visualizations, and the indicators. So I will jump into the dashboard library page, and this is what a business user will see. So from here, you will be able to see the dashboards that you have access to. You can open them from here, of course. And if you have the right permission, you can also create a new dashboard. A few things that I would like to highlight, which I already highlighted before, is enriched information also for business user. So for example, you will be able to see when the dashboard was last updated and by whom it was last updated, and some other informations that were already available in the previous library pages. Another thing that I would like to highlight is obviously you can always search for your dashboards from here by name or owner, and we retain the same capability as before. I mentioned enhanced filtering options. So if you want to really narrow down your search when you're looking for a specific dashboard, you can click on this icon and this interface will open. So this is a list capability. From here, you can filter your column by different conditions. So for example, you may want to search for a dashboard that contains a certain word in the description, like view, or you may want to search a dashboard for a specific owner. In this case, we don't have many, but we can narrow down the dashboard that are owned by system administrator, for example. So this is a really powerful capability that we believe would help a lot in the discovery and findability of dashboards. And to remove this filter, you simply need to click here. We have the same quick access and filtering capability as before. So if you're looking for specific conditions, a quick access to something, you can click on this filter dropdown and these conditions will be open. So for example, you can filter by bookmark dashboards, certified, owned by you, and so on. We also have the categories filter. So by clicking on this filter, you can search for dashboards with one or more categories in this way. And again, you can open this filter and clear the selection. I quickly want to show the other library pages that have been redesigned for every user. The other one is the data visualization library page. As you can see, the design is very similar. Again, we have more information on the data visualization that you have access to, the ability to create a data visualization, and filtering options on top. Something that I didn't show before, but that is available for every library page, is the ability to customize your list. So you can remove some of the columns and you can even reorder them if you want to. So you also have the ability to have this personalized view. The last library that I would like to show that has been redesigned is the indicators library page. For this one, I would need to impersonate another user, so I would do that quickly. But again, the same applies for this library. You will find them under Platform Analytics, and that would be the indicators page. So this is the third library page that has been redesigned with same design of the other library pages. So this was the, let's say, first pillar, the redesign and some enhanced filtering capabilities for business users. Now I really want to jump in the analytics management demo. So I will end the impersonation. So as I mentioned before, users with specific roles will have enhanced views and additional information in the library pages for the management. Again, we can access them by the all menu. And in this case, I'm a user with a dashboard admin or platform analytics admin role. So I will open the dashboard library page. And this is how the dashboard library that you just saw before looks like for an admin user. So there are a few things that I would like to point out here. So first of all, these users will be able to see both active and inactive dashboard in the dashboard library page. So they can manage both dashboards from here. So we added this additional column that would show the state of the dashboard, whether it's active or inactive. Another thing that I'm very excited about is the views. We now allow Analytics Manager users to review the views for each dashboard. So in this case, you can see that this dashboard has been opened or viewed 40 times. You can sort by dashboards that have less views. In this case, it would be 0, and dashboard that have the most views. Another addition for analytics managers is also a column informing when the dashboard was last viewed. So apart from how many times, you will also be able to see the last time it was accessed by any user. Most of the other information are available also for business users, so you saw them already, but there are a few more that I would like to point out. One is the UI version. In some cases, you could have both core UI and next experience dashboards in the same library. So as admin, you would be able to see if this dashboard is a next experience one or a core UI dashboard, and you would be able to open both type of dashboards from here. And last but not least, we also have a visibility column. So from here, you can see in which workspace the dashboard is added to. So for example, here is the default platform analytics, but here you see that this dashboard is also in Success Dashboard Workspace. So these are the additional information that we have in the list for analytics managers. We have the same filtering capabilities that I showed before, so you can filter the list columns. For example, in this case, you may want to filter views and see which dashboard have more than, let's say, 30 views and a specific date in which they were last viewed. Again, you have the search and you have the personalization available for you. But what additionally I would like to focus on for analytics managers are these single scores on top. So apart from the usage of dashboards, we also know that it's very important to know what is not being viewed to perform management actions on that. So we introduced these scores. The first three are about dashboards not being viewed in specific timeframes, so 1 year, 6 months, and 3 months. We also have a score for what has been deactivated for more than 3 months. We've heard that sometimes a flow that is common is to deactivate a dashboard, and then when it has been deactivated for long enough, it can be deleted. So we added this insight and also the dashboard that have been updated in the last month. So we have these additional insights for analytics managers, and not only that, but when clicking on one of these scores, this will be reflected in the list below. So if I click on what has been not viewed in the last 6 months, these dashboards will be shown in the list below. So you'll see you have 7 dashboards that have not been viewed in the last 6 months. You can obviously switch between scores, compare them, or to remove one of these filters, you can simply click on it again and it will be removed and show all the dashboards. Last but not least, the other main pillar, the third pillar that we introduced for analytics managers is the ability to take actions on specific dashboards. So, for example, here you may want to review dashboards that have not been viewed in the last 6 months, and you may decide to delete or deactivate some of them. So you can do that from the libraries. You don't need to leave your workflow. You can obviously select all of the dashboards or just a few. So for example, in this case, we want to take some actions on workflow operations dashboards. So we see that it's active, maybe it doesn't have enough views for us, it doesn't have any owner, so it's a good candidate for deactivation. So all you need to do is select it and then click on deactivate to deactivate your dashboard. And you will see an indication here that the dashboard is now deactivated. You can always activate it back from the libraries, so you can click again on the dashboard, click here and activate it back and make it available for the public again. So these were the main improvements when it comes to analytics management capabilities for dashboards. So to summarize, now analytics managers, which would be users with dashboard admin role or platform analytics admin role, have information on what is used and how many times dashboard has been viewed, but also on what has not been viewed and the ability to take actions such as deleting, deactivating, or activating those dashboards. Now, I quickly want to show another improvement. So we didn't only, as I explained before, introduce these capabilities for dashboards, but also for indicators. So now I'm going to go to the indicators page, and you can see from here that the layout is mostly the same. The information, obviously, and the contextual insight are indeed contextual to the type of artifact. you can, as an analytics manager, you have enhanced information here as well. So you can see the views, when it was last viewed, and other information. In case of the indicators library, the filtering capabilities are available from here. You can filter through the condition builder, and you can combine different conditions to narrow down your selection. We also have those scores on top. We have scores on what has been unused, so not viewed in 6 months, not viewed in 1 year, and they act exactly like in the dashboard page, so they will reflect in the list. And we also have scores on no active data collection jobs. So for indicators, in this case, this would really help in troubleshooting, for example. So these are the main improvements. From here, from this library, you can also take actions. In this case, we have the delete option, and Mayan will cover that just now. For eligible instances, we also have the ability to enable data snapshot, but this will be showed later. Something that I didn't mention before, and I just want to point out, is that we have the filtering capabilities available also for business users, but this filtering, these filters, these conditions will be reflected both on the list and on the scores. So I think there are many questions. I'm seeing the
Yep.
chat.
Yeah, I've got a few that I've marked that are specific to this topic. A bunch of them are other topics, and as regular attendees will know, we try to get to those as best we can as time allows, but we really want to focus specifically on the ones that are topic specific first. But anyway, so when we answer them live, especially. So we have a couple of questions here that I think we should answer live. That looking at that last viewed column, if it was a migrated dashboard, is the last view from the legacy dashboard or the date it was migrated? Or so essentially, let's say it's a dashboard that has been migrated, but hasn't. I'm assuming in this scenario, it hasn't been viewed yet post migration. It would show up as would it show up as a different dashboard in here, showing the last viewed? So
This is a very good question. I probably need to confirm, but I am quite sure that the views are not migrated in the Zurich release.
Sorry, Serena. They are migrated from Zurich. So from Zurich, when you are migrating a core UI dashboard, we are migrating also the views connected to it. So then you will also see the view and the viewed column updated correctly. Also for the core UI dashboard that has been migrated. If you had done the migration before Zurich, then that counter is not updated. So the actual view count will start from when you get like the upgrade to Zurich, and then at that point the views will be counted for the new platform analytics experience version that you have.
thank you. Got a couple
Amazing.
others. Another one here that's, I think, somewhat related. For the usage history on the dashboards, when does the history start accumulating? When you upgrade, so say if I'm, so if I'm just upgrading to Zurich, will the usage history give me the full usage history, or only the usage history since I upgraded to Zurich?
It should be since Zurich.
Okay. Thank you. Will performance be available on dashboard usage, like time to process?
Yeah, that's
Like
that's
load
another
times,
good
yeah.
question. Yeah. It's not in the immediate plans, but it's definitely something we were looking into and we will be looking into.
Yeah. I think that would be a very popular tool to have, so to say, which ones take the longest to load. So that would be awesome to consider. Great. Thank you.
Definitely.
Let's see. Will we be able to see who is viewing the dashboards?
That's also another very good question. We are also looking into that. I think what is meant by who is unique users, and then drilling down into who these users are. I guess that's what we're referring to.
Right.
Yeah, so this would also be a very nice improvement, and we heard it a lot. It's not in Zurich, unfortunately. We have only views, but we are also looking into that because we heard this a lot.
Good. Makes sense. Another question on this view is, are these dashboard views reportable somewhere else besides right in this one dashboard, in this workspace dashboard? So can I report on how many views a particular dashboard had during the last 30 days, but on another view, on another page, or another UI builder page or something like that? Or is it are all these just unique to this particular admin console page?
You can, but it's all stored in another table that is the dashboard stats. So the information is still stored all in the dashboard stats. So you will need to grab from the dashboard stats that data. Dashboard_stats.
Thanks, Marta. I'll do one more for now, and then we'll get back to the presentation, and then I'll look for others that we can answer live as we go. This one is, what does the active true or false mean? Is it driven by a formula or just a user flag?
It's just yeah, that's another good question. It's just state of the dashboard, but what it actually means, when a dashboard is inactive, it's not available to the public again. It's not available to the public anymore. So it's less aggressive, let's say, than deleting a dashboard. It's almost like a dashboard is being archived. So it will not be available to the public. So user will not be able to view this dashboard, but it's still there. It's not deleted.
That's something I could set on the dashboard itself. Right? That would, if I'm editing the dashboard, could I say that I want to make this one inactive? I guess is the
From
question
the
here.
dashboard itself, I don't think it's possible, no.
No, it's not possible from the dashboard itself. I think we should add it as an action from the dashboard itself. Right now will be only from the library.
All right. Okay. Thank you. All right. Well, let's go back. Let's get back to the presentation, and we'll keep reviewing questions.
Thank you. So I'll pass it on to Mayan.
Right. Thank you, Serena. I will share my screen. All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Mayan, and we'll now dive a bit deeper into the updates made to the indicators library page. So as Serena mentioned, similar updates made to the dashboards library have also been applied to the indicators library as we gradually transition from core UI to the next experience. So the updated interface now includes quick filters at the top of the page. The indicator scorecard have been replaced with a presentational list that offers more information about indicators with the ability to customize and bring more columns to the list. For users with admin roles, the indicators library includes additional insights and actions to help admins manage their indicators more effectively and make informed decisions. So similarly to the dashboards, you can see the numbers of views for each indicators across any interface, KPI details, visualizations, Analytics Hub, or widgets, and when the indicator was last viewed. Also, specifically for indicators, you can see whether the indicator has active or inactive data collection job. So the metrics at the top includes the number of indicators not linked to an active data collection job, indicators that haven't been viewed in 6 months and 1 year, and indicators that were recently updated in the last 30 days. These are intended to help admins basically quickly identify indicators that are outdated, unused, or not collecting data. So they can either delete unnecessary indicators or link them to a data collection job if required. So admins can now perform actions directly from this page, including creating, updating, and deleting indicators. The edit and create buttons currently direct to the core UI indicator form. Additionally, admins can check whether the instance is eligible for data snapshots through the banner at the top of the page. So first, a quick reminder on data snapshot. So data snapshot is an enhanced architecture for performance analytics that, unlike classic performance analytics that only allows up to 2 levels of breakdown, data snapshots allows for multiple breakdowns while analyzing indicators for deeper analysis. And the activation for it on the indicators is easy and seamless, as we'll see shortly. So data snapshots have been in general availability since the Yokohama release. And in the Zurich release, we have introduced related features into the indicators library, which we'll now review. So to check whether the instance is eligible for data snapshots, admins can click on this check instance eligibility option in the data snapshots banner. A pop-up will show for each requirement to show whether it's the requirement is met or not met. So data snapshots is available only to instances with RaptorDB Pro, Performance Analytics subscription, and data snapshots plugin should be installed. So for example, in this screenshot, the instance has RaptorDB Pro, the plugin is installed, but there is no Performance Analytics subscription. So overall, data snapshot is not supported, and the user will need to obtain the Performance Analytics subscription to activate data snapshots. Instances that are eligible for data snapshots and have the plugin installed include additional functionality related to data snapshots in the indicators library to enable the data snapshots for their indicators. So 2 actions have been added to the indicators list: enable and disable data snapshots. And also there is a new column titled Data Snapshot Status that showing whether each indicator is compatible with data snapshots and whether this feature is currently enabled or disabled for the indicator. Users can enable only indicators marked as supported by the system. So if an indicator is labeled unsupported, it means its configuration isn't currently compatible with data snapshots, as not all configurations are currently supported at this stage. Additionally, 2 metrics have been added to the top of the page: data snapshots enabled, showing the total number of indicators where the feature is currently active, and data snapshot supported, showing the total number of indicators that are compatible with the feature. So before we move to the enablement process through the library, let's see how it looks with and without data snapshots features in the instance. So you can see, for example, in this instance that is not eligible for data snapshots, that it has this check instance eligibility option. You can see that the instance doesn't have RaptorDB Pro and data snapshots plugin is not installed. This icon directs to product documentation for further details for each one. So for example, for those of you who are not familiar with RaptorDB Pro, it is a high-performance database that can manage large volumes of data. So you can check the documentation if you want to learn more about it. And this is how it looks like when the instance has data snapshots installed. So you can see that the check instance eligibility option is no longer displayed. Instead, there is a link to documentation. And here you can see the additional features I've been mentioning for data snapshots. So you have the metrics, the status column right here, and the buttons to enable and disable data snapshots through the list for the indicators. Now, let me go back to the presentation real quick to walk you through the conversion process. So when indicators are enabled, they are automatically converted into the data snapshots architecture. So this includes seamless linking to data snapshot sources and data collection jobs created by the system based on the existing configuration of the indicators. No manual configuration is required, and the entire process happens behind the scenes, triggered by one click. So after selecting the indicators and clicking Enable Data Snapshots, 2 changes will be visible once the page refreshes. So first, the selected indicators will temporarily appear as in progress before updating to enabled. And second, their data source will automatically switch to a data snapshot source. As I mentioned, all of this happens automatically. No further action is required by the user. So this process typically takes few seconds or minutes, depending on the number of indicators selected. From the enablement date onwards, the scores for the enabled indicators will be retrieved from the data snapshots architecture. Disabling works similarly the other way around. When data snapshots is disabled, the system reverts to its previous states and scores are once again retrieved from the previous scores table. So we recommend keeping the previous configuration for fallback purposes. For indicators that are not compatible with data snapshots, the data snapshot status column will display the status as unsupported. So the specific reason for this will appear in a banner at the top of the indicator form, explaining why the specific indicator is not supported. So removing the unsupported configuration will automatically update the status to supported after saving. So for example, data snapshots currently does not support scripts or bucket groups. And this indicator here includes a breakdown that uses both. So removing the breakdown will immediately change the status to supported, and then the indicator can be enabled. All right, so this session was focused on the analytics management library page enhancement made in Zurich. So for those interested in learning more about data snapshots specifically, I just want to mention that there was an Academy session dedicated to this topic that was held in April, and product documentation is also available, of course. So I recommend checking out those resources for deeper understanding of data snapshots specifically and how it works. That were the highlights mainly. So you can learn about the features discussed as well as the other features released in the Zurich version in the Platform Analytics newsletter. A link to it will be shared along with the recording. Thank you so much. Are there any questions?
Yeah, we have quite a few questions.
Yeah.
Let me see if any are flagged answer live right now, or we can just kind of go through them.
I think Marta had one, or is that already
She might have answered
done?
it.
Yeah,
Okay, she
I've
must have, yeah,
answered
okay.
it.
Okay.
Okay.
I think like a couple of them here, there was a question about like the size and performance limitations for data snapshots. That's unfortunately not really in the scope of what we can answer today, but if we will try to get to it if time allows. And otherwise I would recommend to go look at that data snapshot session. Similarly, so a couple of things on data snapshots. So when we enable data snapshots, does the job? Oh, Lav, you're typing the answer, and if you just want to say it too, you can on the one for blessing right now. But,
Yes, so I was just hoping that it doesn't stop your existing data collections. That control is with you, so you can keep it enabled for both the architectures as long as you want.
I had started to type an answer here, but I think I think I'll go ahead and mention this one. There's a question on saying with Core UI, we're only allowed to filter by one breakdown source at a time at the dashboard level. Is it possible to filter by more than one platform analytics? So yes, the answer is yes. Yeah, you would need to do the collect breakdown matrix for the indicators you have. How that works in platform analytics is breakdowns are filters just like any other filter that can be applied at the dashboard level to all the widgets or the data visualizations on the page. The limitation at this point, though, is you still can only apply up to 2 of those breakdowns when they're used as filters at a time. So before you only could apply 1 at a time, and the second one would have to be like within the widget itself. Now you can apply both levels of breakdown at the dashboard level. To get more than that is where you need the data snapshots we talked about enabled by RaptorDB Pro.
Are there ACLs around who has access to data snapshots management and reviewing? Ryan, I don't know if you said that, but
You mean, okay, so only, I'm not sure that I got the question correctly, but only PA data collector role can enable and disable data snapshots. Does that answer the question or?
I think that might be asking if there's underlying ACLs or anything, will they play a role in data snapshots? Or is it just like PA when you run a data collections, then it does that? Only reporting directly in the live table, ACLs will be enforced.
So the way I see it, so around the table security ACLs, they will be respected how they are respected today in the classic indicator. So we'll not show any additional data set. But I guess the question is, are there ACLs around who has access to data snapshot management and reviewing? So management today, or like enabling or disabling, as Mayan pointed out, is restricted with PA data collector and PA admin roles only.
Correct. Yeah.
Great, thank Dan. You got one
I've
that you
got
tagged?
one here. Just a kind of a question about when you activate, deactivate, and then maybe reactivate a dashboard. Does the updated field reset? So let's say if I have a dashboard that's been, updated X number of days ago or whatever, and then I deactivate it, and then I reactivate it 2 months later, is it going to reset that updated field, or will it still use the original value from before it was deactivated? So, and their example here was one of the single score widgets on a dashboard displays a count of dashboards not updated in the last 30 days. I wouldn't want dashboards that I activate or reactivate to deprecate that count. So that's been, it's been updated in the last X number of days.
Yeah.
Will it do that?
I'm not fully sure. I need to double check this. What I remember is that this should not get updated, like updated. So it doesn't, let's say, refresh, if that was the question.
Yeah, I think that's yeah, it really is looking at, so, and that the one specific case was, I've got a report or a query that shows me what has been updated or not updated in the last 30 days. So would that updated, I would assume, because I think the one use case is I have a dashboard that was last updated 2 years ago, and I use that to help me understand when I should retire or when I should even just get rid of. So when I deactivate it, does it get updated as being deactivated? Is that kind of like when I update any record, is it considered and I would think it probably is reset to the date that you deactivated it, and then probably reset again to the date that you reactivate it, but I don't know for certain. That's kind of what the logic would seem like to me, but I'm not positive. I don't know if anyone else has the
I can double check on this because
yeah.
I am not
Okay.
fully sure, and then we can
Good question. Yeah.
answer this question. Yeah, it's a good question. I agree. Thank you.
I think it's kind of related to one other here too, that thing, report statistics and dashboard statistics under usage and governance. Will they still capture stats after migration? How these stats will be affected before and after migration. Now my understanding, and someone here correct me if I'm wrong, is that it's technically when you migrate an object like a report or a dashboard, it is technically a new object. So, I create a new, so a report A that I've been using for a while in Core UI is migrated into Platform Analytics. It's a new object that's now called data visualization A or whatever that, it's not called that, but it's in the background, it's a physical different record in the table. So I would assume that means that it would not keep those stats, but is that something so it's kind of similar? Would that be another we need to follow up on to say for sure?
Marta, do you know the answer to this? Because we answered a similar question before.
Sorry, can you repeat for me?
It's the report stats and dashboard stats that we have in Core UI today.
Yeah.
When I migrate a dashboard, does it does it keep the stats with the newly migrated version of the dashboard?
I
And I
got
think
it.
no. Yeah.
Yes, instead this, yes. It's so
Oh,
from Zurich, if you migrate a dashboard from Zurich, we are also migrating the dashboard stats with it.
okay. Oh, good.
From Australia, when you are gonna migrate, say like a core UI report or a stored PA widget, we are also migrating to the new data visualization stats.
Now, before we get into that, I guess I wanted to say, do we have more of the presentation side left? I want to make sure we have time for that, or can we just continue with questions?
No, nothing more to present or to demo.
Okay,
think
good.
from
I just want to make sure. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure we weren't cutting someone's time short. So, okay. Let's see. So then we can get to maybe a few of the other ones that, the ones that again are still very specific to a problem that you're seeing. Those are going to be difficult to answer live, but so when I choose show all in a donut, I found that it is really doing a top 50. So if you put a total on your widget, I can now suddenly it moved on me. So put a total on your widget, it is a sum of the top 50 and not really all. Then when you click on the chart, it takes you to a list view that gives you a different count, assuming there are more than 50 groups, saying, is this by design? I think, I don't know if we have anyone that can speak specifically to if that was something that would be unique to the donut data viz or not.
Is this database is it a table query or an indicator?
Let's see. It's hard to now. Paul will do maybe.
I'm trying to find it, but if you were
Okay.
using the interactive filters before to like act as filter pretty much, there is the same capability in the chart interaction. I will find the documentation for it.
Yeah,
So
and
you
this
will be able to also do it with the chart interactions.
yeah. And this is a little different scenario. I'm gonna see if I can unmute Paul. He had the question here. Let's find you on here. And if you can maybe help clarify for that. There, you should be able to take yourself off mute now, Paul. And so on your question, Paul Coates.
Hey, I'm here. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, so I no, I had a user want to do a top 75, which is I know that's pretty much a lot of slices of pie in there. But yeah, I found when you just do it, and I just did like a basic report that was like sys user where active is true, and then I just said group by job title. So from there, if I do a show all, it really ended up being a top 50, which then the chart, like the donut in the middle there, when you have your number, um, it gave me the top 50 sum. But if I go click on that top 50 number that's being represented in the chart, then it takes me to a show all, like a truly an all, like a list view without filters. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you're saying there. It's it's just a donut. It's not necessarily acting as it's not necessarily acting as a further filter. It's a
Yeah, and I think I might have even tested this as a bar chart, and I think it might have done the same. It's
right.
just
Okay.
that show all is not really show all. It's really a top 50 unless you go customize what show all means. And I didn't even know that show all was actually a number behind the scenes. I genuinely, this whole time, thought it was show all.
There's one person in the chat just said they were able to kind of accomplish something similar using two interactive filters before. I don't know specifics around that, but that's a good one. I think that's one that we're probably going to have to follow up on, Paul, to see, because I think it sounds like we don't really know that for certain if it's by design or if it is a defect in it. So that's
And while I'm there, can I steal another question then? How do you put a custom top X number in your dropdown? Because 75 is not a number like
right.
in the current.
Is there I'm asking our team, is there a table that could actually give you those options?
I
don't
don't
think there is.
so. I think they're right now are coded and they are not like plain input field, but they are just options. So I don't think now it's possible to customize them.
I found a way in the sys properties table that you could, I think it was in sys properties where you could define that and you could actually go add a value. Like I was able to put a 75, but that's in core UI reporting and not platform analytics. I was trying to get it to work in platform analytics.
Okay. Then Thomas, maybe let's circle back between us on this.
Mhm.
All right,
Yeah.
thank you.
And Paul,
that's a good one.
if you are able to send us the information of which property you have configured before, that will be good for us to know.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. Thank you.
I got one here that I think is a really good question for all of the participants out here. So just to confirm, when we get to the Brazil release, we will no longer be able to create PA objects in the core UI. Actually, that's Australia. So in Australia, you will no longer be able to create new content in core UI. So you can still access it, and you can also still edit them in the core UI, edit existing ones. Will we be forced to upgrade to platform analytics to make any changes? No, you can still make changes on the existing core UI object. And then the follow-up is, will the non-migrated core UI dashboards no longer work? Nope, there's right now, they should be able to work as long as you want them to. How the big question right now though is support. So also as of Australia, we are not supporting anything from the core UI environment unless it's like a security issue. They are available. You can still run them. You can edit them, and that is still intended to be indefinite. Right? That we have no plans to fully deprecate that. I don't know if anyone else can confirm that, but I think that's still the case. So let's see. I'm just typing an answer to one, and I know I'm not seeing anything else that wouldn't take a while here. Let's see. I thought there was one that was kind of a yes, no. Maybe that was already grabbed. Let's see. Oh, clicking through a visualization to a data view. Is there a way to centrally manage the columns shown? Visualizations using the same data source often need a different view. So yeah, if I'm looking at the last updated date on incidents versus the open incidents list, I might have different purposes for the view. Those should be, I think those will be based upon like the default view for that table list view, but at least that's the way it has been historically.
If you're going to core UI, if the redirection is to core UI, then the default view is your best choice right now. We are looking also if we can allow you to configure on the drill down data view options to actually redirect on a specific view that exists on the table, and maybe you can force those visualization to always redirect it to that specific view. If you have your own workspace or you have a configurable workspace, you can also define through the events if the visualization go to a specific view in your experience, like a list view in your experience.
So here's how to do a custom top X in sys choice. So yeah, okay. That Paul put in there, so that's good to see. So we can maybe use that as a basis for it. I'm looking for anything else before we do the wrap up, because there's still several questions, but I think each of these are going to take a little bit of time to respond to. So we will still, Thomas, is there still a standard that we try to put those in the summary
Yeah,
on the
we'll
community?
definitely try. I mean, we just got to get once we get the questions, we got to we'll convene
Yeah.
back together and try to get answers to these as much as we possibly can. Yeah.
Okay. So why don't we go ahead and start the wrap up here and then.
Okay. Here we go. Okay. So, Serena and Maya, thank you very much for sharing that great info today. Let's see here. So, a lot of questions about data snapshots, and mine shared some good stuff. Here's a little video demonstration that we have that can give you more information about it. So, scan that QR code or grab that link, and you can get some more information. Of course, we do have an academy that we did back in our April that was referenced as well, and I'll make sure that gets added to the community page for that. Obviously, check out the community. What we're going to talk about in 2 weeks is more around the same topic, but more PA specifically, and of course, user experience analytics. We're going to talk about that in 2 weeks. So come back for that. That'll be super, super awesome as well. And with that, thank you. And like Dan and I said, we would definitely try to get these questions. We obviously get the questions. We'll try to get answers to these and post these in the community event as well. I'm still working on the one actually from the previous session. So we'll definitely get that information out there. So thanks for all the panelists that joined as well and supported this. And we'll see everybody in 2 weeks. Thank you.